It's Thursday. I'm Andrew Doud. It's time for our Happening in the Hamptons podcast, our weekly breakdown of the Hamptons market, new listings, and events on the East End. We are sponsored today by New York Title Abstract, the Hamptons' leading title insurance firm. Visit NewYorkTitle.com. We are back in the studio today. We did our first live one last week, which was very cool.
Yep.
Live on Instagram, remote location. Today we're back in the marketing building with Steve Glick, Dave Rotiner, and today, my better half, Miss Sarah Doud. How are you?
Wonderful. It finally feels like summer in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
We're
I
ready
know.
to go.
Good to have you back on. You're always busy. I know this because I'm left with the kids while you're at work. So
Who has the kids now? Oh, wait, we're still in school.
Still in school.
We're
Thank
still
God.
in school.
Yeah. They're glad school's going, so they can keep them for the rest of the summer if they want. But so tell everybody else what's going on. I know what's going on, but you've been very busy. Got a couple great listings that are on the market, have just come on the market, are going to be coming on the market. We'll get to all that and talk rentals, but where do you want to start?
I think talking about the beach, we should start at 83 Foster, and that's in Hampton Bays. It is one of my favorites because it's about a mile to the ocean waves crashing at your feet. The location is superb. You have kind of this beach village vibe going on because there's a lot to get to around you, a lot of new, very hip restaurants that have just opened or opened last season that bring a big draw. So Hampton Coffee just opened around the corner. So a lot to do. So if you're looking for a property that gives a lot of beach energy and rental potential or even flip potential, this is under $1 million. It's $950,000 and $950,000. It's 6 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So to get that bedroom count at that price, a mile to the ocean, show me something better.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
We were looking at this listing yesterday and we pulled it up. 6 bedrooms. I was like, wow.
And
like
it's legal 6 bedrooms.
Yeah,
So they have their rental permit.
great.
You can get the rental permit easily. You're not talking about, makeshift this, makeshift that.
Is there room
It's
for a pool
legit.
there?
And there is room for a pool there.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a
just
cool
gonna
house.
ask that,
It's like, because, what do they call them? Technically an upside down house where the kitchen's
It is.
on
The kitchen's
second floor,
upstairs,
right?
but what's great about that is you walk out and you have this deck that kind of wraps around the house, and when you're up, you kind of catch those ocean breezes, you catch those sunsets, you're kind of closer to the elements that you're there to enjoy anyway.
Yeah, the deck faces west. So
it's
you're like
fantastic.
That's a good listing. Also in Hampton Bays, this is one you sold, and now you're back on the listing.
Yep, back on it. The buyer's agent asked me, and the owner asked me to partner with them to sell it on the selling side now. The list side, 1 Linwood Court. It was a renovation project that we actually spoke about on the podcast previously, and the builder has come in and completely done all new interior, exterior. It's going to be 3 bedroom, 4 bath on a cul-de-sac, and this is just over 1.2. So again, looking at Hampton Bays, where you get basically a brand new house in that, just over $1 million.
$1 million kind of the
that
sweet
zone.
spot anywhere.
It's
Absolutely.
pretty great bang for your buck.
So those are 2 good listings you got in Hampton Bays.
You can tell I like those kind of projects. I come from a building background with my family. My dad's a mason. My family has flipped and built houses out here in the Hamptons, Bridgehampton to Hampton Bays for many generations. So having an eye for that kind of a project and being able to sell it and then also perform on the other side and sell it when it's a finished project is something that I do well.
And I'll brag on you for a second because we have done our own projects.
A lot of fun.
Where we've taken a house in Florida,
Yes.
improved that, sold it, moved to North Carolina.
Yeah,
bought a house
it's
there,
definitely something I
improved it,
enjoy
sold
doing. New construction, renovations, even if they're small. I mean, you don't have to do a $500,000 renovation. You can do a $150,000 renovation. And just having the context to help people get there, whether it is going to be a flip or it is going to be a rental, there is a lot of resources that I can provide.
You're good at that,
That's
for
great.
sure.
Yep.
Another renovation that's, I guess, wrapping up now, right? This is 55 Wicketock. This is a huge opportunity for somebody that is a savvy buyer, I think, because this is a great house.
So 55 Wicketock is going to be all new inside with a designer style, designer taste. It's been featured in some magazines lately. And so it is right across the street from Long Beach and right there in Sag Harbor. So you get a lot of the Sag Harbor energy. And it's going to just have those beautiful white oak floors inside. It's going to have all new windows, new kitchen, renovated bathroom.
Jeez.
So this
Also room for a pool.
Great
also
location.
room for a pool.
Right.
And there's also future plans that you could do a further expansion and make it 2 stories and go one step further. But you're going to walk in, take the keys, bring your toothbrush, and have a great summer at the beach with that one.
Yeah. So those are some great listings. But the other thing is, what day is it? We're 2 weeks into June, almost, right? So 2 weeks into June, we're coming up on. I would call it like the hot spot of the rental season, which is July and August, right? That's when everybody wants to be out here.
Correct.
You've done how many rentals this year?
Blanking on the number now, but I think it was the
20,
24.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, that 24 for a
Good for
one-woman
you.
show was pretty good. And there's still some happening now. I was showing something and negotiating things earlier this week. But there's been some headlines out there that say Hamptons rentals are down, and so I just wanted to address that because I think it's a really important topic for our industry in this location.
Please do.
And our data, as we went over the numbers in our weekly meetings, our data is consistent with previous summer seasons. And so, I think it comes down to the formula. Look at your house. If you haven't rented, the reasons are right in front of you. Look around. Do you have the rental permit in place? Do you have the heated pool? Do you have the primary with an ensuite? Is it 4 bedrooms? Because people love 4 bedrooms. If you're smaller than that, it gets a little tricky for some people renting. Location. Are there train tracks? Is there a highway? Is there a busy street? You might be a second choice then. So, and then furniture, just having something super stylish, because hand-me-down furniture just doesn't work anymore. You used to be able to pull that off out here and not put much money into the interiors. But now people expect that hotel experience. So it needs to show that way and photograph that way.
Yeah, fresh linens, clean furniture, power wash the house. All that little stuff goes a long way.
It does. And even before they walk in your door, they're going to notice it online because everyone has it in front of them, and you need to jump off the paper and the internet in front of people to just even get them in the door.
I just bring that up now because there's still time. You know what I mean? If you got something you want to rent for July or in particular August, and you're listening to this podcast, so why hasn't it rented? Well, yeah, take a look at everything that Sarah's saying. Take a look at your price. See if there's some adjustments that you can be made. And it's kind of like a hard, honest self-assessment. It's like, okay, what do I need to do to make this happen? And there's still time to do that. And if you want to do that, and
then if you do miss it this year, get control for next year. I usually get everything organized and great pictures in the season, and then get it freshly listed in the fall so that you're ready to go for whenever that person might be looking.
The rental permit's a big thing, though.
Huge.
You need to have the rental permit.
Step
Before
one.
you start
Step one.
worrying about the colors of the pillows, have the rental permit in place, and then
Step
everything
one.
else can go from there.
Why are you looking at me?
You got this, Dave. You got this, Dave. Let's do it.
We've been seeing a big uptick in the rentals. Just yesterday alone, there were 7 rentals that came in through the firm.
7.
And I think
7
the sun
in one day.
Wow.
The sun finally came out. We've had a lot of rainy, unmotivational weekends.
And people are looking at July and August, saying, "All right, well, let me do this. Let me wrap this up. Let me get into a rental." So when you read the headline news, those are just people saying something to just make a headline, right? But when you really look at the data from our firm, like Sarah said, we've been pretty consistent from year over year. Our dollar volume is up. The transaction's pretty on par. So it's been pretty steady for the past 2 years for the rental market. What it looks like, though, if you look online, there's just so many more rentals available. There's so much more inventory in the rental market because everyone's putting their house up for different periods of time, for 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 month. And there are just so many more homes that were purchased over, during the past couple of years. And now they're just trying to recoup some of that money and get a rental out of it.
And I used to say the market was saturated, which now I've decided is just such a negative word. The reality is it's very competitive. So you just have to have the right formula.
Yep.
Yeah, it's possible.
You can get it done. It is happening.
Are renting.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And to that point, take a look at what your availability is. If you're hard and fast on the entire summer, maybe do break it out by month or break it out by 2 weeks.
And I always say
whatever
be
the
open to
case may be.
pets because many people love to bring their pets to the beach and be out here with their pets for the season. So it sets you above.
Yes. Well, so we're talking numbers. Steve, let's just go right into that. What do you got for the sales data?
All right, well, we have a positive week this week. 33 listings went into contract. Last year, there were 25, so we're looking at an increase of 32%. So it's good to see that we're over 30 listings going into contract in 1 week. We've been seeing a lot of 20s. This is the first time in the past couple months we've been seeing over 30. 2 years ago, there were 20, so it's an increase from 2 years ago of 65%. And the breakdown of the 33 transactions, 5 between 5 and 10 million, 5 between 3 and 5 million, 10 between 2 and 3 million, 10 between 1 and 2 million, and 3 under a million. Dollar volume was also up. It was $98 million compared to last year. It was an increase of 8%. And 2 years ago, it's an increase of 42%. New listings, 29 new listings came onto the market. So we've been seeing around 30. This is, 29 and 30 is pretty much the same. However, this decreases the inventory by just 4 listings. And the breakdown of the 29 new listings, there is one between 15 and 20 million, one between 10 and 15, 7 between 5 and 10, 5 between 3 and 5, 5 between 2 and 3, 7 between 1 and 2, and 3 under a million. So good inventory in all price categories. Inventory is at 1,926 total listings, 1,497 active, and 429 in contract. So great week, positive all across the board.
There you go. Dave, what do you got going on?
There is so much going on this weekend. I'm just picking out.
This is our weekend.
Yeah, this is the
Okay?
big
This
weekend.
is like the big. This is
Happy
it, you
Father's
know?
Day.
Yeah.
This is the dad weekend. That's for sure. There's not a lot of Father's Day labels.
Is there brunches and stuff?
No.
Do I get like breakfast in bed? How does this work?
No,
Okay.
no. But there's a lot going on this weekend.
Thanks for clearing that up, Steve. Dave.
Let's see. What do I want to start with first? Let's see. Well, we like Dave Portnoy, right? From Barstool Sports.
I bet you Sarah doesn't know who that is. Do you know who that is? Nope. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., the Shark Bar is hosting the Southampton Animal Shelter X. Do you say X or by? And I guess the Southampton Animal Shelter and Miss Peach's Lucky One Lemonade launch event. So the Lucky One Lemonade is the lemonade that Dave Portnoy's dog Miss Peaches is like a brand rep of, I guess. And
This is all new to me, but go ahead. Okay. Continue.
All right. Well, a lot of people listening will know what this is. So anyway, the first 50 people there receive a lemonade on the house, and the bar is going to have like a little party to raise money for the Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation. So if you're a dog person, you can go to this event, and I think you can adopt a dog at this event as well. Yeah, they're going to bring like their dog truck there.
No.
We don't need any more
We
animals.
don't need any more pets.
Yeah, so you booze it up, and then you're like, yeah, I would love to have a dog.
Dog's real
sounds
cute.
great. So Doud, I know you're a runner. So this
Yes.
Saturday, if you want to do the Beacon of Hope 5K run walk,
That's nice.
5K is not that bad.
Yeah. 3 miles. Knock
You
it out.
know, that's at the Montauk Point Lighthouse. That starts at 9 a.m. If you're in the mood to go for a beautiful jog. You also have a Ja Rule bar takeover with Amber and Opal at Calissa on the 13th. That starts at 7 p.m. Do you know who Ja Rule is?
Of course, you know who John Rule is.
Yeah, I do too.
I was in high school in 2003.
So I feel like this is an extremely exciting event.
Right?
But
Dave will be there.
because we're old, it must not be the thing to do. Like if this was happening when we were younger,
In
this
like
would
2002.
this would be like
And MTV was there. And
big
TRL,
news.
And yeah.
That Ja Rule was there. So, but now it's just like the old guy who's going to be at Calissa's, you know.
It's all right. Keep the dream alive.
You know what I mean?
I heard
He's gonna-
Blink-182 's
He's
going
gonna
on
like
tour,
pretend
too,
to drink.
so-
You know, his bottle of whiskey will have like iced tea in it. You know, and he'll like drink it. You know, it's gonna be like that. Anyway, Ja Rule, 7 p.m. Calissa's. I'm
Cool.
Maybe I'll do that. That sounds kind of nice. A lot of Montauk stuff I picked out for some reason. So you also have Mavericks, and Montauk has opened. So that's like
That's
the
where you'll be
super
this
cool.
weekend,
Yeah,
Montauk.
that's the super cool, fancy place to go in Montauk. So you gotta go to Mavericks in Montauk. This weekend they're having a wine dinner with guest host Christopher Renard of Domains Ott. So I don't know what that means, but you get to meet that guy. Then you got Sticks and Stones Comedy Night. That is happening in Southampton, June 14th at 8 p.m. So a guy named Sherrod Small from Opie Radio on Sirius XM is going to be performing for live comedy. And I don't know, I guess there's others. Go to Hamptons.com to look at all of the fun things that are going on this weekend.
I'm there
and
now.
just pick one.
Great.
There are a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good ones. Feel like I'm talking too long, so I'm just going to stop. But there's a lot going on this weekend.
And look at this. Featured at the top of the page on Hamptons.com is Hampton Bay's Beach Getaway.
There you
Yeah,
go.
whatever that is. I don't even know what
Well,
that
actually,
is. But I'm sure it's
No,
awesome.
no, that's Sarah's
It's the
listing.
new listing.
Oh.
The featured
It's
listing.
not a fan.
Right.
But also
With the
at the
wraparound
beach.
porch.
Yep.
Also at the beach on June 30th coming up, I'm going to be there for that same beach, Ponquag. The town of Southampton has their kickoff concert. So all these concerts in the park that everybody enjoys around several of the towns. The first one will be June 30th, 6 to 8. That's the kickoff one at Ponquag Beach there. So I will be there if anyone wants to come say hello.
You are, to that point, what else are you doing this summer? Because if you're not
Something
working,
I'm
you're,
really
like,
excited
networking.
about. Can I share?
Yeah.
So it's in July, the 4th of July parade. I know Dave and Steve will be there because our office is right there in town,
always a
and
good
we
one.
always have beautiful chairs set up and a great setup. So I will be marching in the parade and there with an antique tractor and kind of waving to the crowds and having a good
Driving
time.
the tractor.
Yeah,
again.
all
It was
right.
Such success at St. Patrick's Day.
So yeah, we like to do that and just kind of get out and be a part of the community and show up. So we'll be there. Give us a wave.
We were gonna bring the pony
Logistics.
in the
in the parade
Next year.
We
Wow.
got it. We
We
got
gotta
the
get it.
approval
We need
and
a little
everything.
trip.
Oh, wow.
We have
The
approval.
Logistics didn't work out. This
Ponies
year,
next
so-
year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Dave will walk one with me.
Good. Anything else before we let you go?
That's it. Thanks so much for the time.
All right, that's it. That's podcast, everybody. Have a great Thursday. The day looks beautiful today. I think tomorrow, hopefully the weekend. Enjoy it. We're full swing summer.
Oh yeah.
I'm Andrew Doud. That's what's happening in Hampton.